So in the previous lecture, we learned about linear combination and linear span. The idea there was we had looked at the system AX is equal to B, and consistent implies B belongs to linear span of columns of A, which is same as the column space of A. Fine. And inconsistent means it didn't have a solution. So we had looked at AX is equal to B. For there, the idea was that either solution or no solution. Now I would like to look at the system AX is equal to 0, the homogeneous system. So if you recall, this system is always consistent. So we want to differentiate between having a trivial solution and having a non-trivial solution. Having only the trivial solution, and the other one having a non-trivial solution. So there are the two ideas that were there, having a non-trivial solution and only the trivial solution. So only the trivial solution came from the system whenever A is invertible, all right? And there we had that it was not invertible and things like that, fine? Or the RIEF and things like that were there, that where there is IN and there it is not IN and things like that. So let's look at an example. Let's start with an example A. So take the matrix A as 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, the same matrix that I had taken earlier. So if you look at the system AX is equal to 0, in the unknowns X, which is equal to alpha beta, because there are only two columns, then it has only the trivial solution. So even though our matrix A is not invertible, what I see is that the column space of this I'm looking at, and I'm looking at the null space of A. The null space of A has only the trivial solution. So null space of A is just the zero vector, nothing else. Fine. In this case, we say that the columns of A are linearly independent. So what we are saying is linearly independent. Fine. So Li for shorts will be using that. Suppose I take another matrix B, which is 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, and say 2, 3, 5. Fine. Suppose I take this. Let's compute the RREF of this. So RREF of this matrix B will be equal to, the first part will remain the same. You can see here that these are the two things, and 2, 3, 5 is separate. So whatever way you want to see, you can also see that 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, but here it is given as 5. So the RREF of this will be like this. This will be the RREF. Fine. And therefore we can see that this will imply that Bx is equal to 0 has only the trivial solution, or which is same thing as saying that null space of B is again the 0. All right. So this implies the columns, first column of B, second column of B, and the third column of B, this set is linearly independent. Fine. So this is one example, another example. So you have only the trivial solution. That's very important. Null space of A has only the trivial solution. Fine. Now if I look at another matrix C, which is 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, then you can see that Cx is equal to 0, or the null space of C consists of linear span of the vector 1, 1, minus 1. So just verify it yourself. 1, 1, minus 1. So this is the vector, and the linear span of this is this, because you can see that first column plus the second column minus the third column is 0, 0, 0. All right. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So this is 0. All right. Therefore, null space of C has a non-trivial solution, implies the columns of C are linearly independent. Plus the columns of C are linearly dependent. Fine. So this is the idea as far as examples are concerned. So let me write the definition formally. Definition. Let S be a subset of S is equal to some V1, V2, Vk be a subset of a vector space V over F. Then S is said to be linearly independent subset of V over F. Again, I'm stressing on over F because solution set has to be over F itself. The scalar entries have to come from F. Subset of V over F is linearly independent if the solution of the linear system alpha 1 V1 plus alpha 2 V2 plus alpha k Vk is equal to 0 in the unknowns alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha k has only the trivial solution. Right? Has only the trivial solution. So only the trivial solution means I have alpha 1 is 0 is equal to alpha 2 is equal to alpha k. Right? So this is the only solution, nothing else. Right? And is linearly dependent if it has a non-trivial solution, and is linearly dependent and is said to be linearly dependent if the star has non-trivial solution. All right. So this is about looking at things when S is a finite set. What happens if S is an infinite set? If this is an infinite set, then S is said to be linearly independent if every finite subset of S, is linearly independent. Fine. So that's the way we look at things. So the homogeneous system, when we look at the trivial part, if it has only the trivial solution, then it is linearly independent. The columns are linearly independent. If it has at least one non-trivial solution, then we look at linear dependence. Fine. We have already looked at examples. I'll just take two more examples to make a slight change in the understanding of things to example. One. Suppose S consists of just the zero vector. Fine. If S consists of just the zero vector, then I'm supposed to look at, by definition, I need to look at the system alpha times 0 is equal to 0, where alpha is unknown. Fine. So you can see that this has a trivial solution. This has a non-trivial solution. Namely alpha is equal to 1 because 1 times 0 is equal to 0 satisfies double star. Let me write it as double star. Fine. So it has a non-trivial solution, implies S is linearly dependent, implies any set containing the zero vector, any set containing the zero vector is linearly dependent. Fine, because I can always put 1 there, I'll get a non-trivial solution. Fine. All the rest, the alpha i's can put 0, and wherever there is a 0, I can just put 1 there and get a non-trivial solution. Fine. This is 1, 2. Suppose I take S to be a vector U, and u is not 0, fine. Then what will happen? I need to look at alpha times u is equal to 0 for alpha unknown. Fine, I need to solve the system. So let me put it as a dagger. Fine. So what we know is that alpha times u is 0 if and only if either alpha is 0 or u is 0 or both are 0. Fine. So since I've taken that u is not 0, this implies the only solution of dagger is alpha is equal to 0. The only solution. Fine. So implies a set consisting of non-zero vector is linearly dependent, is independent, linearly independent, because it has only the trivial solution. Fine. Is that okay? So we would like to proceed on this and understand things. So let me write this proposition for clarity. Proposition. Let V be a vector space over F. Then 1, every subset of a linearly independent set is linearly independent. You can prove it the way we have proved it to every superset of a linearly dependent set is linearly dependent, because I already have, I'm talking of superset, bigger set. This is linearly dependent. So if I take a bigger one, it will also be linearly dependent. Fine. And here I'm looking at the subset, the smaller part. Fine. Big is linearly independent, implies a smaller is also linearly independent. Big implies a small. Fine. That's what I'm saying. In some sense, here it is a small implies this big. All right. Fine. So again, let me write that any set containing the zero vector the zero vector is linearly dependent for a set having exactly one non-zero vector is linearly independent. Fine. So these are important ideas that you need to keep track of, otherwise there will be problems. Fine. Because that's the way we'll build up ideas, what is called a theorem which says that every linearly independent set can be extended to form a basis of finite dimensional vector space. All those notions are there. So they are very, very important notions. Keep track of them. So this theorem is there, which is very important, and this will again help us in constructing a basis that we have not yet understood. Fine. So let S be a linearly independent subset of a vector space V over F. Fine. Over F is important because from there only you can say it. Then for any vector V belonging to V, the set S union V is linearly independent if and only if V does not belong to LS of S. Fine. And which is same thing as saying that if and only if V belongs to capital V minus LS of S. Fine. So let's try to prove this part. So we are saying that I have got LS of S and I am trying to add one extra vector. So I'm trying to increase the size of the set S. Fine. S is already linearly independent. I want to increase the size of the linearly independent set. I want to look at when can I say that S is linearly independent. The addition of one extra vector will also give me linear independence. Fine. So I need to look at, so the other way around. So let's suppose that V does not belongs to LS of S. I want to show that it is linearly independent. Fine. So consider the system. So let's me assume first that S consists of some vectors, say u1, u2, uk. All right. Otherwise, u1, u2, uk. Fine. Or even if it is infinite, I'm looking at some subset of UKs and then adding V to it, all right, and then looking at all such collections. Consider the system alpha 1 U1 plus alpha 2 U2 plus alpha k UK plus beta V is 0, all right. I have to show that the only solution of a star is 0, 0, 0, 0, all right, fine. So if beta is not 0, so if I have a system in which if we have a solution of a star in which beta is not 0, then V is 1 upon beta times or minus of this times alpha 1 u1 plus alpha 2 u2 plus alpha k uk, and this implies that V belongs to linear span of S. There will be a contradiction as V does not belong to LS of S. Fine. So if we have a solution in which beta is not 0, all right, fine. So it means that if I have to have a solution which is a non-trivial solution, then beta has to be 0. So this implies that if there is a non-trivial solution of a star, non-trivial solution of a star, then beta has to be 0. So this will imply that the solution, the non-trivial solution, trivial. So the set or the non-trivial solution to the solution of a star is also a non-trivial solution of alpha 1 u1 plus alpha 2 u2 plus alpha k uk is 0. Fine. So if I have a non-trivial solution of a star in which beta is 0, then I have a solution of this also. But what we know is that u1 to uk is linearly, but S is linearly independent implies a contradiction to double star having only the trivial solution. All right. This is what happens, that you have to be careful about it. So it has the only the trivial source, that's important. Fine. So first thing is that if a star has a solution, non-trivial solution means either beta is 0 or beta is not 0. If beta is not 0, then it is a linear span, which is contradicting our assumption. If beta is 0, then I again get a contradiction to linear independence of the set S. Fine. So let's now prove the other way around, that so assume S union V is linearly independent. To show V does not belong to linear span of S. Fine. So if V belongs to linear span of S, will imply that V is equal to some alpha 1 u1 plus alpha 2 u2 plus alpha k uk for some alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha k belonging to F with at least one alpha I not equal to 0. Fine. Why? I'm saying that V belongs to LS of S. LS of S already contains 0, so V cannot be 0. So important thing is that V belongs to, oh, I had started with V here, so I should have said that V is, so when I chose V here, V belongs to V minus the 0 vector, I should have said that. That's very important. All right, so I have to be, it has to be a non-zero vector. V belongs to LS of S and V is not 0. This is important because I am saying that alpha is not 0. So this implies that the system say T1 U1 plus T2 U2 plus tk uk plus tk plus 1 v is equal to 0 in the unknowns t1 t2 tk plus 1 has a non-trivial solution. Trivial solution. T1 is equal to alpha 1, T2 is equal to alpha 2, Tk is equal to alpha k, and Tk plus 1 is equal to minus 1. Fine? Isn't it? Goes alpha 1 u1 plus so on till alpha k uk minus v is the zero vector. This is what is happening from here. Fine? So this and dagger, this and dagger. Fine? So therefore what we get a contradiction of the assumption that this was linearly independent. All right. So I have a non-trivial solution here, which is a contradiction, So I'd like you to keep track of these theorems. These statements are very, very important. All right, and we'll be using them again and again. Fine.